I bet.
Yeah, these can't come up.
It's severe.
All the powder out of it.
Let's see, she switched parties.
Just to the
She
cap.
was there. She switched parties. So they charged them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were shooting for that.
Overnight, 3 years.
Here come a big smoke ring. People went nuts. Okay, how close are we, kid?
It's 7:30. It is.
Hey, there we go. Here we go. Council, come to order, please. Clerk, call the roll.
Baumgartner,
Here.
Ely. Here. Godwin,
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Schmidt. Whitaker.
Here.
Wright.
Here. All stand for the pledge, please.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Yeah.
Okay, approval of the minutes. You've all received a copy, email from the clerk regarding the last meeting minutes. Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, they'll stand approved as mailed. And also those, the minutes are always posted on the website, so there can be copies obtained up here, or you can pull them off the website. Current financial report, again, provided by the auditor's office. Any questions there for the auditor, or any comments, or motion to approve? So moved. Motion by Mr. Whitaker to approve the report. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes. Approval agenda. Clerk informs me that there's nothing that needs to be added at this time, and nothing to be deleted.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as presented, excuse me. Call the roll.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes. Public hearing, there's nothing specifically scheduled on the public hearing tonight. Anyone wishing to address council may do so. If you were coming here to talk about the issue of the rezoning of the zoning commission meeting regarding medical marijuana dispensaries, we did not receive the request for a public hearing until the 21st of September. So I know it had been advertised inadvertently to be tonight, but it actually officially will be on December the 7th, which will be the first meeting in December. But anyone wishing to address council may do so. Okay, give your name and address, please.
Daniel Benton, 215 US Route 127, West Manchester, Ohio. I actually live in the Dark County side. My property splits over in both. I wanted to give information on somebody who has firsthand experience on using medical marijuana and the benefit of having a dispensary in Greenville. The closest dispensary for me is 53 minutes away. I work 13, 14 hours a day. So for me to get to a dispensary is tough. So it's only on the weekends. I know there's a lot of stigma with marijuana, especially having a dispensary, but if anybody's been to or even around a dispensary, no one's hanging around. The three that are in Dayton have never been broken into. They've never had any violence issues. In order to get in one, you can't even get into the front door. They have armed security guards inside. You have to have a medical card and your license available. That gets you in the first door. The second door, you have to do it again. And then when you get back into the room where the actual marijuana is, you have to show your card and your medical card the third time before you even get anything. And then when you come out, the armed guard will check everything over and make sure everything's good before you leave. So I know a lot of people think that having a medical dispensary around would cause more crime and violence and possible hanging, people hanging around that are not good to have around, but every dispensary I've been to in Dayton, I've not seen that issue. Mad River Remedy, they don't have a sign that shows that it's actually a medical marijuana facility unless you knew what you were looking for. You wouldn't know. There's no signs of marijuana leaves. It just says Mad River Remedy. That's all it says. Strawberry Fields on Wayne Avenue doesn't even have a sign. You wouldn't know what it was unless you went there and asked what it was. You can't get in the front door without a card and your license. The third one, which is on Needmore, thank you, is on Needmore, and that is Pure Ohio Wellness. I've actually spoke with the president of the company. His name's Larry. He went over some numbers with me as well. During the pandemic, 2019 of July to March 2020, tax revenue in Ohio alone brought in $3.8 million in tax revenue. 942,000 of that was permissive sales tax for counties in Ohio. So it will bring money into Darke County, especially Greenville. Taxes, not only do the state tax, but city and county can tax as well. I believe it is 6.5% tax rate currently. I think on my last receipt was a 6.5. Prices are high right now. So of the 30% of people that are actually allowed to get medical marijuana, only 20% of those people are actually using it because of the cost right now in Ohio, which they are working to bring it down. The other thing is with medical marijuana, it's going to help a lot of people in Greenville that are possibly using illegal prescription pills or heroin, opium, some type of form of that. Medical marijuana can actually help with those things. People that have kidney issues, GERD, ulcers, they can't use ibuprofen or Tylenol. Marijuana can take a lot of the chronic pain away, which is what I use it for. During my time in the Marine Corps, I messed my back up extremely bad. I'm missing parts of the in between my vertebrae are gone, so they're constantly rubbing. It causes extreme pain. At nighttime, I'm able to use this. By the time I wake up in the morning, I'm not stiff. It doesn't take me 10 minutes just to get out of bed and get into the bathroom so I can go to work. I work construction, so I'm doing more abuse on my back every day. But medical marijuana actually does help me. On top of that, I don't use any type of prescription pills. I don't use ibuprofen or Tylenol. I don't like any type of pill that is going to cause any other side effects. Marijuana doesn't have any other side effects except for dry eyes, dry mouth. If you overuse, there's no chance of death. You can't overdose on medical marijuana. You can't overdose on an edible. It's not possible. So the benefits are there. And as Greenville has obviously issues with Narcan and other issues where we have to help people who are overdosed on opium, you wouldn't have that problem with medical marijuana. And these individuals, as Ohio is passing more reasons for medical purposes, they are trying to use opium and opium addiction as a way to help using medical marijuana to get them off of it instead of using methadone. My brother was a unfortunate junkie and used heroin a lot of his life. He is now a quadriplegic. Unfortunately, there are those people that are going to use marijuana and they're going to go to another drug and another drug. You can't, unfortunately, stop those people from doing what they want to do. However, I do believe that medical marijuana does have its benefits, and I think a dispensary in Darke County, especially Greenville, would help a lot of people. It's going to help keep money here because I know when I drive to Dayton, I get gas in Dayton instead of getting it here in Greenville because that's where I'm at. Depending on time of day, I eat there as well. So that's income that we're losing here when we could be bringing that to Greenville, because if somebody's driving from, somewhere Preble County, wherever they don't have a local dispensary, they're going to come to Greenville. They're going to get gas, they might eat. And the good thing about medical marijuana is it's more strict than alcohol. You can't drive at all, zero. If you use medical marijuana at night and you wake up in the morning and go to work and you get pulled over and they test your saliva, it will come back positive for THC because it's a 24-hour variance in the saliva. You fail, that's an OVI, and they take your medical card. You can't own a gun. I'm no longer allowed to own a gun in the United States because I've given up my Second Amendment to own a weapon, because you're not allowed to own a weapon and use medical marijuana. However, you can drink alcohol and use weapons. So these are other issues that people have no clue how strict these rules are for medical marijuana. The dispensaries are very, very regulated, highly regulated. I get an email anytime there is any type of cultivator that did not follow the strict guidelines of the medical marijuana. The product is pulled and they send out a mass email letting everybody know to bring it back, and they give them a full refund of their the money that they were out of. So it's very strict. You don't have to worry about dispensaries putting out any type of product that's going to harm the community or the individuals using it. Ohio is one of the most strict rules than regulations for medical marijuana. So I just wanted to be able to enlighten everybody and give everybody a firsthand experience of what I've experienced using medical marijuana and what it helps in having a dispensary in the local area.
Well, sir, as I told you, this is really not a public hearing on that subject
Definitely.
right now, but we did listen. And is there anything further?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Burke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address council may do so at this time. Seeing no one moving to the microphone, we will move the agenda and go to administrative reports. Mayor Wellman.
Thank you, Council President. I got a few things here lately. Within the city building itself, for the last few months, we've been trying to promote Greenville and the school and the students of the Greenville High School and the rest of it. But so here just recently, we had a couple of banners up on the city building. The ladies golf, congratulations on their what they've done throughout the year. We've had a great season and won the league. And then Kenneth Jenkinson was a state competitor. She improved her last year's score by at least 10 points throughout the state tournament. And even though she had like 20 or 21st place, she's still a junior. She'll probably be there next year. So look forward to that. Now on the front of the building, we have a banner, the Band of Pride. Jody Harder, Harder brought that over, school principal, so she brought that over and we got it up in front of the high school about the Band of Pride. So they're at state competition this last weekend, and we're able to have a number 2 excellent performance. So it's a great deal for them, and we certainly are proud of all our students and the competition and what they're able to accomplish throughout their careers here at the high school. Other than that, I brought up a few things once before, but I'll say it again. Small Business Saturday coming up, November 27th. That's 10 to 3 downtown for all the merchants. First Friday in December will be December 3rd, and that's a Christmas night. There'll be all the merchants be decorated and be open, so enjoy that. And of course, I want to make sure everybody remembers that the Holiday Horse Parade is coming up on November 20th. That's at 7 p.m. And that's when we do all the lighting downtown, light all the decorations. So that'll be a great event. It'll be beautiful. So be there. And that's all I have. So I'll pass. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. A few things for this evening. The first thing, maybe some of you have heard about it, maybe not, but I wanted to get the conversation started. We've had a lot of developers come into the city here over the last month, 2 months. The city of Greenville, especially the north end of Greenville, has fallen into a census tract for needed low-income housing. Some of them call it senior housing. We've been approached by about 5 different developers at this point, and 3 of them have secured some land. So they are working with planning and zoning to try to get that land all rezoned. The last one was actually tabled until next meeting, so that one is currently general business, kind of out behind Casey's. The next one is already zoned SR3, which is suburban residential, and that's like the woods there behind Kroger at North Park. And then the last one is the Hamilton property down here by Sherwin-Williams, which is currently light commercial. And so all of those would have to go into PUDR, a plan unit development residential, for these to work. So I just wanted to kind of start the discussion, let everyone know what was going on. I'm sure it's going to get contentious as this moves forward. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, but
Anybody would like a little bit of information, I brought my little packet, Dennis Asinger and Plan Zoning printed up. I don't know how many copies he made, just a couple for us probably for right now. Just to kind of tell who the companies are and what properties they're looking at, particularly the three that are going to be a Plan Zoning. And then some of the information they brought along on what they might look like and that type of thing. So go ahead, yeah.
I just wanted to ask, where was the third property?
the Hamilton's property right down here across from the maid, right?
Okay, the land across from the main.
Yep, right beside Sherwin-Williams.
Okay,
Kind of goes back in.
all right. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to see one of those.
Yeah, each of these developments with a PUDR will get you as higher, excuse me, higher density of the units. So they want to build multiple story, 2 to 3 story buildings. Also maybe down the road, what this might look like is each of them, they said they haven't bought land, but they have it's like the dispensaries, like they have to have like contracts in place in case they're able to build. So once we get some kind of okay, or we okay them to some degree, they can apply put their application to the state in order to get the tax credits they need to build something. So the land that they are looking at in each case is bigger than the unit they want to build. So it takes up a smaller footprint. But down the road, they could build more. Particularly if it makes it easier if we do some rezoning. So you have something to think about. Also, part of what I want to say is that at the last planning and zoning meeting, we got a letter from Carol Ginn, which is the county auditor. And her worry is about these properties is that as time goes along, even though they're not built under the name of a low income, they're built as a tax credit. So the people get a discount on their amount of money. It's not straight up government subsidized, but it's almost the same. As time goes along, her concern is as time goes along, they'll have lawyers come down, they'll devaluate the property, and then they'll be able to pay lower taxes. As time goes along in the future, that they can convert over to a more of a low income. And then, and of course, everybody suffers because the taxes don't come in. We don't have as much taxes as we started with. Schools get hurt, we get hurt, the county gets hurt. The other thing is Chief Roberts, our chief of police, came also and gave us some information about some of the units. They get a lot of calls for the police and stretches our resources. So it's one of those things, it's one of the things we think about. So if we have any more of these come in, it's just going to be that much more time and trouble. And I mean, maybe even get the place you'd have to add police. I don't know. So it's a concern. I want to make sure you're aware of some of these situations that are coming up. So anybody else have any questions? Get that packet, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So copy of that.
Yeah, you want to start looking at it now?
Well, not right now, but if you can provide it for us.
You can have this one and we can also make you up some.
All
Yeah.
right, good.
I
Thanks.
like one.
So where does this, is it the census that says we have this many aging and this many housing? Because it seems to me we have a lot of empty rentals out there that that aren't filled now. And if we build new, that would just empty the older section of Greenville out. And it seems like we keep expanding the city, but our population's not growing. So
We
it's
kind
just
of
gonna-
learn a little bit more as time goes along, and maybe not completely answer your question, but along that line is that when we had all these companies coming in, and the first couple of people said, you'll probably get quite a few people want to come and build through these tax credits that the government gives out.
What we did find out though is like, there'll probably be, if it's accepted, if we allow them and they're accepted by the state, they could build one, probably. Next year gonna be another one, maybe another one a third year, but they're not gonna be like 3 all at once. There will be a lot. So it's gonna be like 40 unit building, a 60 unit building. We even have another company that wants to build one level. There is but they just recently contacted us for the second time and we're asking about.
So my fear is you build a 40 unit, you're gonna empty 40 houses, older houses
Possibly,
around the city. And they're gonna
possibly.
move to there.
I think you'll get a lot of people from outside of town. I would say probably half or more would, because all your government agencies will get notice that these people are building. And they're gonna be, when they open up, they're gonna be pushing people to come.
Got you.
Have you heard about the 2 a.m. flights that they're coming out of Texas? Okay.
Exactly,
Think about that.
exactly. I'm with you.
Okay, yeah, any other questions? Just want to make you aware of what's going on.
Thank you.
They'll be coming to planning and zoning this at next meeting.
Yep,
Three of
November
them,
16th.
To try to get some rezoning, so
When
When
is
is
the
that, Ryan?
next planning?
just before our next council meeting.
Okay.
So next council meeting, like, or next planning and zoning commission meeting, which is November 16th, they come and they ask planning and zoning for a recommendation. If planning and zoning signs off on the recommendation, then it gets sent to council and there's a public hearing set
You guys do it.
and you guys are the final approvals
Of rezoning.
of rezoning the property. So final say comes here. I just
Right.
wanted, I mean, I'm sure it's going to start getting out that these people are coming to town wanting to look at these properties because I've already received phone calls about it. So I just don't want you guys to be blindsided, but that's the process.
If you have an opinion on any of this stuff, let us know. Let your planning and zoning commission know.
Thank
So-
you for the heads up.
Absolutely.
November the 16th at 6:30.
6
Great.
here in council chambers.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we good there?
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna take a little bit.
Hey, we need to know about it.
The next, all of our lead line documentation for you guys coming in at 7 a.m. on a Friday morning to pass that legislation, much appreciated. So it's all submitted to the EPA and it's because we had to have it submitted prior to November 1 and now December 1, we'll find out for sure if we get it. Chances look very good for us. Last I checked with them, they had $8 million available and there was a $5 million ask and we were in that 5 million. So as long as all our paperwork and everything is good, which we send it all to them prior to, we should be receiving that grant. So that's a large or principal forgiveness loan. That's what it's actually called.
Principal forgiveness.
Principal forgiveness loan. I need to clarify that. Next thing, the mayor's talking about Christmas and Christmas decorations. So we had a donor come to us, Eric Fee, who wanted to put a large Christmas tree up in the downtown area in honor of his mother who passed away of COVID last year. So we've kind of been working with him and we've wanted to do this for a long time. We've had a lot of ask for it, but just logistically and financially, we just couldn't make it work. So he came with a tree. Someone David Furlong from Fitzwaters is donating his time to cut the tree down and move it here and install it. And then Eric is getting donations to decorate the tree and get it all going. And right before this meeting, the park board has approved to let them put that tree at Annie Oakley Park. So we'll have I think it's like a 40-foot live Christmas tree this year to
Nice.
add to our downtown.
Nice.
So that's exciting.
When would be the proposed official lighting on the horse parade night?
Probably. We're still going to work through that, but that's kind of
That'd be good.
the talks is. So that's November 20th. The plan is to set it November 12th and then give them about a week to get it decorated and lit and make sure everything's working. And yeah, we're not 100% sure if they want to do like a big lighting. So probably like horse parade night, but I'll be in touch on that one.
Nice, nice.
And last couple of things. So I always like to give a shout out to someone in the city or one of our departments. So my mind was already made up that tonight our shout out was going to be to the mayor and I's executive secretary, Nancy Trotwine. So she puts up with a lot of things from the mayor and I, and she keeps us on the right track. And she's fantastic. More the mayor than me, but no, I'm teasing. So she has dealt with electric aggregation in every year and gas aggregation. And here the last month, because everyone received the letter, she's been dealing with a lot of phone calls and, people that didn't understand it and people who maybe had hearing difficulties. And sometimes I step back and listen to her, how she talks to people and communicates, and she's just the sweetest thing ever and talks them through it. And at the end of the day, everyone usually leaves happy and way more educated than when they came in. So I just want to give a shout out to Nancy because we really appreciate her. And then the police department over the weekend, they were kind of upped it a little bit. So I have to give a shout out to them. So they had a drug bust that they worked in conjunction with the Darke County Sheriff's Department, used their K-9 unit, seized 25 grams of fentanyl and 42 grams of meth, which is a very large haul. A person that they've been kind of after for a long time. So get all that off the street and get her off, the person off the street was a big win. And one thing that we always do kind of push here, the mayor and all of our administration, is for departments to work together, and then even county and township and all those people work together. So it's great that they're out there working with the sheriff's department and making a difference. And with that, I will pass.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Law Director, Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Just two quick things tonight. Excuse me. I realize we're all in the middle of contract negotiations. That's going on with all the unions throughout the city. We've got everybody up for negotiation this year, so things are going well. We're optimistic we're going to get them all resolved without having to go to arbitration or mediation. And so we're continuing to move forward with that, and hopefully by next council meeting, we'll have some more updates regarding that. But talks have been productive. Everybody's working together, and we're all trying to work towards the same goal. The second thing I have is just a quick explanation on the second ordinance, which is amending section 252.22. What that does is it really clarifies, it moves our probationary period from 1 year down to 6 months for new employees. We never changed our personnel policy manual when we moved the probationary period up. So it's been in conflict because certain benefits, say that you get them at 6 months or when your probationary period ends. So this just cleans up all that language, and it also clarifies for the city. We've kind of talked to the administration. If you don't know in 6 months whether somebody's going to work out or not, it shouldn't take a whole year to get there. So that's what that piece of legislation does. With that, I'll take any questions from anybody.
Thank you, sir. Auditor, Mrs. Wellman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. For all intents and purposes, the state audit is at an end. But as we have done in past years, they want to know if the council would like an exit interview. And so I need an answer from you folks. And as soon as I get that back to them, they'll finish everything up. I do also want to let you know, so nobody will be blindsided. They will send you the representation letter once this is all done, just to let you know what their findings were, and so that you're all aware of it. So at this time, I'd like to find out whether you want an exit interview or not.
Excellent.
You need a motion?
Yes.
I'll make a motion not to receive the exit interview.
Okay, motion by Mr. Baumgartner not to request an exit interview with the state auditors. Discussion? Call roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Winiker.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'm glad I didn't have to break the tie.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. With that, I pass.
You're welcome. Thank you. And then make sure that it shows up in minutes that that's unanimous. Okay. Moving on, nothing under committee reports, and we have 6 ordinances to consider or resolutions. First, transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. This transfer ordinance allows for transfer in the general fund, stormwater utility fund, and park fund in the sum as follows. $6,500 from PERS, workers' comp, city FICA admin to healthcare premium admin. This transfer is needed to cover the healthcare premiums for a new employee through December 31st, 2021. $2,500 from professional services, stormwater utility to equipment charges / brush stormwater utility. This transfer is needed to cover equipment charges / brush removal through December 31st, 2021. $4,000 from professional services park to utilities park. This transfer is needed to cover the park utilities through December 31st, 2021.
Mr. Council President, I move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title, second and third time. Discussion. Call roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
Move to adopt the ordinance. Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion. Call roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Next, we have an ordinance amending section 252.22 of the codified ordinance.
An ordinance amending section 252.25 of the codified ordinances. This ordinance amends the probationary period for city employees from 1 year to 6 months under section 252.25 of the codified ordinance.
Suspend the rules and give this ordinance a second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title, second and third time. Discussion. Call roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
An ordinance amending section 252.25 of the codified ordinances. An ordinance amending section 252.25 of the codified ordinances.
Move to adopt the ordinance. Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
And next, we have a resolution authorizing bidding for sanitary sewer grouting.
A resolution authorizing bidding for sanitary sewer grouting. This resolution authorizes the bidding for necessary sanitary sewer grouting throughout the city of Greenville.
Move to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only. Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules and read the resolution by title, second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing bidding for sanitary sewer grouting. A resolution authorizing bidding for sanitary sewer grouting.
Motion to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
And next, we have a resolution authorized bidding for sanitary sewer lining.
A resolution authorizing bidding for sanitary sewer lining. This resolution authorizes the bidding for necessary sanitary sewer lining throughout the city of Greenville.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution a second and third reading by title only.
That's from Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title, second, third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing bidding for sanitary sewer lining. A resolution authorizing bidding for sanitary sewer lining.
Move to adopt the resolution. Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Call. the roll.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Okay, next we have a resolution for the adoption of ARPA.
A resolution for the adoption of ARPA. This resolution authorizes the expenditures from the U.S. American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, for accounting and grant administration consulting services that will assist the city in utilizing ARPA funding with Julian and Grove Incorporated.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title, second, third time, discussion. Call the roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
A resolution for the adoption of ARPA. A resolution for the adoption of ARPA.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to adopt the resolution, discussion. Call the roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
And last, we have a resolution waiving the return check fee for Eiffel Joseph.
A resolution waiving the return check fee for Eiffel Joseph. This resolution waives a $30 return check fee for the account of Eiffel Joseph who has passed away.
We suspend the rules and give this resolution its second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to suspend the rules, and read the resolution, but title second, and third time. Discussion. Call the roll.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
A resolution waiving the return check fee for Eiffel Joseph. A resolution waiving the return check fee for Eiffel Joseph.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion. Call the roll.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
And that concludes our ordinance and resolutions for this evening. Nothing under old or new business. Council representative outside committee, the architectural review board is up. Who's a representative of that?
Me.
You?
Yes.
You're just reporting on all kinds of things, aren't you?
The Architectural Review Board generally meets the second Tuesday of each month here in the municipal building, and generally we approve new signage, exterior lighting, painting of the buildings downtown, and any window decals or signage within the windows and so forth. And they have their rules that they go by regarding square footage of the signs and so forth. We just had a meeting, an emergency meeting on the 28th. We didn't have any businesses come forward for the regular meeting, but we had an emergency meeting, special meeting on the 28th, and it was for business 529 South Broadway. That's actually moving from the 300 block. So refined purveyors, fine goods, and they do paint. They're moving that location. They're putting another, there's a new store going in, and in the current location of theirs on the 300 block of Broadway. So very pleased to see the number of new businesses moving downtown Greenville, and it's really going well. Downtown is really a happening place. 423 is doing very well, and I don't think the exit of, it's my opinion, the exit of KitchenAid Experience didn't turn out to be the disaster we thought it was going to be, and that's a godsend. So with that, I pass.
All right, thank you for that report. Communications, what do we have?
We received the monthly reports of October from the income tax and fire departments, and then we have a P&Z letter for the property at 142/146 West Water Street.
Okay.
Honorable members of council, at the October 19th, 2021 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, Thomas McNulty's request was heard for a zoning amendment for 0.2433 acres lot located at 142 West Water Street. Members voted to send a favorable recommendation to City Council for the request to rezone the parcel from UR Urban Residential to DE Downtown Enterprise. And following with the zoning regulations, Article 5 Amendments, Section 5.05, the Planning and Zoning Commission is hereby forwarding the recommendation to rezone the request to City Council. City Council, per zoning text Section 5.06, must now take action. The application, as submitted by Thomas McNulty, property owner, is attached. Minutes from the October 19, 2021 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting are also attached. Sincerely, Mayor Roman.
Okay, now that has to lay over 30 days, right?
Needs to be set for public hearing.
Huh?
Yes, it needs to be set
For
for a public hearing in
Right.
30 days, which
Right.
December 7th.
Which will make it December 7th, so we're gonna have two scheduled that night.
What is the address on that?
142/146 West Water Street.
Is that at the end of the second one?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, it
the old Aller vending building.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now, then we will need to, with that letter, set officially, I don't know if did you get that in the minutes that we set this public hearing for that request for the rezoning on December the 7th. So that will be two public hearings scheduled that night. Okay, any other communications? From anyone? Call down the council, please.
Gardner.
Yeah, I would just like to thank everyone for attending tonight. It's never easy to get up on that podium and speak, so I know the gentleman that was here is not here, but just thank everyone for their coming up and hearing us, and it's nice to see a crowd out here, and of course, it's nice to see department heads here, so thank you, Chief. With that, I pass.
Ely,
I pass.
I
Godwin,
had a chance, I went out to the north end of town out there behind Fifth Third Bank. There's a smoke shop out there. And yeah, went by the place and it's got two big old green signs out there. It says CBD on it. I walked into the place. That's the first time I ever been in it. And you know, people's talking about this marijuana distribution center coming to town. You need to take a walk in that place. And you don't have to have a medical card. You don't have to have a driver's license and don't have to give your gun up or any of that stuff. But they had a lot of stuff there, different stuff. And I also had a chance Friday, it was raining. And I just happened to be in Dayton, and like the gentleman talked about down on Deanmore, I stopped at the place called Pure, Ohio. And yeah, I've been going by that place. A friend of mine, we'd go down to the Boy Scout shop, and it was only like a block away from it. And it used to be a Chinese restaurant, then it was a Mexican restaurant, then it was a rundown building. And you go by it now, and it's got sprinkler systems in the yard. The place is painted, got bushes and shrubs around the place. And the two guys that I did talk to down there are retired Dayton police officers, and their job is security for that building. And like the gentleman did say, that you do have to show your medical card, you have to show your driver's license. And the people that I seen down there, you know, for about the half hour I was stood there and just watched. And it was people like you and I. It wasn't, I didn't see they call them a tweaker. Didn't see somebody pull up in their bicycle and loading their backpack up with, you know, stuff. And I did happen to talk to a gentleman that was from Greenville that came up and introduced himself to me. And, you know, he had knee surgery, and the pharmacist that they have on duty, that he said that every one of those places have a pharmacist on duty, that it's not a, you know, just go in there and get whatever you want. You know, they got to get it prescribed to them. And, you know, so it's not a, you know, bad thing. I mean, it didn't look like it was terrible. I mean, it didn't, it was a nice building, and with that, I'll pass. I didn't buy nothing. They wouldn't let me in.
Good.
I didn't have a card.
Didn't have a card.
And I didn't get it.
He was a shady one.
Rogers,
I'm gonna pass tonight. Thank you.
Schmidt,
I'll pass.
Winokur,
I just want to echo Ryan
Shout out to Nancy Troutwine. I witnessed her doing a lot of things whenever I pay visits to the administration's office, and she does an excellent job. How long has Nancy been with us?
10, maybe.
She's doing a great job. So with that, my appreciation to her, I pass.
Right.
Chief, the cement out front looks great. They've done an excellent job. They might need a raise for all this work. they've done.
It's a bad time to talk about it.
Didn't you just hear the law director's report earlier?
Right, he's leaving. When's your sign going up?
They're waiting on some of the parts, not all that, so hopefully sometime tomorrow.
So when's the sign gonna be taken out?
Rob, when the first snow is.
I'll pass.
President Burkett.
Yes, I have a couple of things. Sometimes I think our aggregation program should be called aggravation, particularly for Miss Nancy when she has to go through all that. And I get confused about it once in a while and get stuff in the mail. And so I call her and I say, now what's in there? You know, so she is very helpful in that attitude. Something I forgot to do last meeting that I really needed to do, and I hope it's not too late. I was contacted by Mr. Roger Van Frank from Dark County Park District, and they are in the process of trying to acquire the facility at Fort Jefferson Park, and that would become a part of the Dark County Park District. Now, they currently maintain it, but they're going to begin to, from the Ohio History Connection or Ohio Historical Society, I think it's called the History Connection. And he wanted a letter of support. He contacted me because I know Roger very well, and we do some work out there ourselves, or volunteer stuff with the park. And was, I guess, asking permission from the council to, as president of council, to send a letter of support, which would not entail any monetary contribution from the city. It's just a letter of support from a governmental entity stating that we would support them in their endeavor. And they just attach it with all of their gear, and it's just another group of people saying, yes, that sounds like a good idea. I didn't want to do it without your permission. And I just don't do things like that. So does anyone have objections to it? So I will prepare the letter and get it to Mr. Van Frank and help them support their endeavor. Where it'll happen, what will happen, I don't know, but they're working toward that. Okay, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion from Mr. Rogers to adjourn. Call the roll, please.
Baumgartner.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Whitaker.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.